Bradford Anete Abbey for listening to us. We all remember we were the very first to suggest a salary for feature, not even a cut, to show empathy and not sympathy for the cocoa farmers. It would be most unfortunate for parents to keep eating while the children are hungry. It doesn't make sense. It's only an irresponsible father who would still be eating a plate full of food whilst his children are wriggling in hunger. So we suggested that COCOBOD, whose main business borders on cocoa and hinges basically, foundationally on cocoa, I beg your pardon. My brother, my sister, Randy Abbey has listened to us. They have taken a salary cut. Well, half a loaf, they say, is always better than nothing. I honestly wished that they would forfeit the salary and not take anything at all. My brother, my sister, after all, the farmers are not getting anything until there is a solution. But now, we see that they are getting all their money for whatever they have supplied. But whatever that they are going to supply new, they will have a haircut of 28%. My brother, my sister, it is just befitting that COCOBOD and its staff also take a 28% haircut on their salaries. 20% is little. 10% is little for senior staff. In fact, across board, percentage is percentage. My brother, my sister, the more you earn, the more you pay. So there shouldn't be anything like some are, having a 10% haircut, 20% haircut. It should be across board. If farmers are getting 28% haircut, COCOBOD management and staff should all take a 28% haircut as well. To make it even more serious, you extend it to about 30% for everybody. Yes. This is what is called empathy, not sympathy. Sacrifice. You are standing in solidarity with the cocoa workers, cocoa farmers, and cocoa staff. Today, my brother, my sister, when we stand in solidarity, or when we commiserate, yes, when we commiserate, my brother, my sister, with people, we are trying to tell them, we know what you're going through. We wish you could carry your burden, but we stand with you, and in your struggles, we participate. That is what it means. Where from the 10%? What decision went into that? What decision went into the 20% for executive members? If cocoa workers and farmers are taking 28% haircut, I think it just makes sense that we, the administrators of the cocoa, should take the same or even a little higher. We are not more human than the cocoa farmers. No. It's a bad teacher who continues to take a salary when his students are always failing. If the students are always failing, my brother, my sister, we must start standing with them and trying to show the whole world that we know exactly what is going on. And for that matter, we are also doing everything possible to make things work. He's a bad father who continues to sleep and snore when his little children have lost sleep because they are hungry or sick? How many fathers or mothers will comfortably be in bed snoring when they know their little ones are sick and cannot even try a wink, let alone a sleep? That is what we are trying to tell COCOBOD to do. I am happy that Randy Abbey has taken a great step. By listening to us, it means that you have a listening ear. But at the same time, I think that 20% for executive members and 10% for senior members is too cosmetic. Please, do more. We are not looking for you to suffer. Again, I have two questions to ask. When you say the rest of the crop year, what is that? Not all of us know what the crop year is. Is it up to June? Is it up to May? Is it up to September? We know that you are dealing with farmers, but you are also dealing with the nation. Just like a doctor tells you that, oh, somebody is suffering from elephantiasis. And he knows that we don't understand these uncomplimentary terms. So they must break that down. What does it mean to say crop year? What is the meaning? We want to know. Again, my brother, my sister, the bonuses that some of these people receive can sometimes be more than the salary. So reducing a salary by 10%, 20% might not even mean that much. How much bonuses are you receiving? How do you get your bonuses? By doing what? I think that the general public needs to know this. And finally, how much are you saving by the 10% and the 20% haircuts that you are giving yourselves? Let us know what the crop year is and how much within the crop year you are going to be saving in support of the government and cocoa farmers. Finally, the money that you are going to raise from the haircuts, what are you going to do with that? Shall we know? Are you returning it to the coffers of Ghana, or you are giving that to the cocoa farmers? We just want to know exactly what you are doing with this. We stand with you. We thank you for taking this good decision. And above all, we thank you for at least bringing out a kind of solution. I believe it will be better as you move along. It's truly unfair for Randy Abbey to be going through this. Yes, Randy Abbey, beg your pardon, to be going through this. A big chunk of this problem was never created by him and his party. But that is what politics is. We say we are resetting. We say we are coming to fix. Of course, we knew there was some debt. So there's no need for us to complain about that debt. Whoever created the debt, the jailhouses are still empty. We can put them in there. Whoever created all the debts, oh yes, let them clean that out. If they can't, the jailhouses are still here. Thanks so much to Randy Abbey. We love you and we'll keep supporting you. Now the next thing I want to read and look at is also taken from Ghana. I beg your pardon, My Joy Online. And it says, not one warning issued. Professor Aning criticises government over failure to alert tomato traders on Burkina Faso risk. And I read, security consultant and professor at the Kofi Annan International Peacekeeping Training Center, KAIPTC, Professor Kwesi Aning, has sharply criticized government authorities for failing to issue a formal travel advisory to traders regularly traveling to Burkina Faso, despite escalating terrorist violence in the Sahel. His remarks follow a deadly terrorist attack on Ghanaian tomato traders near Tetao, a town in northern Burkina Faso, on Saturday, February 14, 2026, Valentine's Day. Now, speaking on Joy News' AM show on Tuesday, Professor Aning revealed that he had asked a producer to verify whether any Ghanaian institution, including the Ministry of Foreign Affairs, the Ghana Road Transport Union, or even the Tomato Sellers Association, had issued a warning to traders traveling to Burkina Faso, Mali, or Algeria. He said the findings were deeply troubling. No warning had been issued. When a state fails its people at their critical point of need, words of sympathy almost don't mean anything. I love this statement. Oh, wow. When a state fails its people at their critical point of need, words of sympathy almost don't mean anything. Quote and unquote, Professor Prof Aning. Wow. I love this. My brother, it looks like in our country we have no value and respect for life. We don't care how many Ghanaians are killed in Libya. Nanado didn't care. Other governments did not show so much concern. In fact, we are killed on the Sahel, and our authorities don't really care as long as their family members are not included. In our hospitals, some doctors misbehave, and out of their irresponsible unprofessionalism, we die. Nobody cares. But let the wife of a politician go in there and have a still baby due to the carelessness of a nurse, not a doctor. The whole world would get to hear about it. The hospital may be closed down and may be set on political fire. It looks like some people are more human than others. And it's sad. The same people who vote for you to come into power, show them some respect, for crying out loud. You see, the way people treat you is all about how you treat yourself. Kai, somebody write this down. The way people treat you is all about how you treat yourself. And I keep telling this story. I used to live in a house where any time a certain family's old lady went in there to bath, her children would carry the bucket in there, the bathroom, to bath. I didn't grow up in a house where there was a shower. No, we bath from buckets. And the moment the woman finished, they were rushing as if in a competition to bring back the bucket from the bathroom. My brother, this culture spread amongst some of us who were not even related to the old woman. We were always on the lookout for when she was getting ready to bath. We wanted to be the first to carry her bucket into the bathroom and be the first to bring out the bucket from the bathroom after she had bathed. What does this mean? The way you treat yourself, the way you treat each other, determines how other people treat you. If you work for a company where nobody respects you, if you work in a company where anybody can be injured and the company doesn't care, you will keep getting injuries night and day. I used to work for a radio station. I do not want to mention the name, even though so much I want to. Hey, make a mistake and touch the hair out of the head of anybody working there, the next second is all over in the media. The police and all the authorities would be alerted. So anytime we went out, my brother, my sister, on programs and events, people were careful never to touch us. I wish I could mention the name. But there was another one that I never worked for, my brother, my sister. They treated their workers like trash. You could go out there and they would behead you as long as you could still walk to the radio station. Nobody cared. The best they could do was to give you Ola balm and ask you to go and smear that around your decapitated body. My brother, my sister, the way you treat yourself is how people will treat you. If you have a car that is always dirty, when people are looking for a place to throw their rubbish, they will look for your car and throw it right there. If you always keep your vicinity clean, when people even make a mistake and drop rubbish, they pick it up immediately because they instantly know by intuition that this is not where to throw rubbish. Okay? Look at how the Americans treat their citizens. Go to the American website. They have warned Americans long before they even enter into the country where not to go and where to go. Every embassy does that. The American embassy. They do it. Go to the American embassy. They will give you information, and they have made that public to all American citizens. When you come to Ghana, it is a very peaceful country, A, B, C, D, E, F, but don't take the peace for granted. When you are going to areas like A, B, C, be careful. In Ghana, you don't do this, you don't do this, you don't do this. Though it is accepted in America, when you do that here, you will be mistaken for A, B, C, D. All embassies do that. Again, they will tell you where there is trouble in terms of armed robbery or terrorists, for crying out loud. My brother, in our country, we are friendly with everybody. We are the most peaceful country in West Africa. Nigerians admire us. Burkinabés admire us. Beninois admire us. And above all, Togolese are marrying us night and day, trade-wise and beyond. My brother, now see this. Tomato sellers went to Burkina Faso. They were ambushed and all the men were shot and killed in cold blood. Women, we were told, were freed. As if that was not enough, they set their trucks on fire, stood by the fire, and made sure that everything got burnt, including those they shot dead, and left the whole place charred and in ashes and cinders. All the Ministry of Interior did was to say, oh, some Ghanaians were involved in a terrorist attack in Burkina Faso. So skeletal. We were not told how many people were involved. We had to depend on social media for information. How many people were killed? How many survived? No, we're not told. How much damage? What is happening between Ghana and the Burkina Faso counterparts diplomatically? How are we making sure that this does not happen? And above all, in the interim, as we are trying to find solutions, what are the warnings? What are the cautions we should take when we go to Burkina Faso? Or should we stop going there? At least until there's some form of security assurance. No. The Ministry of Interior left it like that. Just left it absolutely like that. The Ghana embassy in Burkina Faso is sleeping, fast asleep, totally asleep after eating achake and paya and chewing goat meat right there inside Ouagadougou. They are fast asleep. Do they really care about the innocent ones who are dying there? Have they sent any warnings to the Ghanaians coming in there? Or theirs is to just go there, take big salaries, sleep, and misbehave? I'm disappointed. Same way Professor Prof Aning is. Why did we put you in there? For you to protect us, for crying out loud. You are sleeping on the job. Look how the Americans treat each other. They don't wait until there is a terrorist attack, even though they are targeted all over the place. My brother, my sister, they make sure that they, at least in their own power, gather intelligence and protect their people from looming danger. Don't go to Nigeria. But if you must go there, go through this route. And no matter what, avoid this area, and that area. Not in Ghana. Ghanaians are everywhere, even in hell. If you go to hell right now, you find some Ghanaians being sodomized by Satan. Ghanaians, my brother, my sister, are stubborn. But that does not mean we should not warn people in advance. Are we on point? Are we making the right delivery? So please, Ministry of Interior, please, it's not enough to just come out and announce, oh, Ghanaians were unfortunately blah blah. That sympathy is not needed. That is why Professor Prof Aning says, when a state fails its people at their critical point of need, words of sympathy almost don't mean anything. And I support him. My brother, my sister, it is what it is. This is the voice of the Patriot, where we speak truth to power.
Blakk Rasta. This is